Thank you for staying tuned to Newsmaker Live. Prior to going on the break, my guest and I were going through the timeline for the Lambird scandal, and I just want to make one correction. In speaking, my guest had said that on June 3rd was when the minister had approved the application that was sent to him. That was sent to her, sorry, by Invest St. Lucia. That would have made it one day after she received the application. He's since corrected himself and apologizes for that, and it's June 6th, is it?
It was June 6th.
June 6th.
Actually, she submitted the application that she received to the Permanent Secretary on June 3rd, during which time he advised
her to allow it to go through the proper
channels. She then requested that he convene an urgent meeting to deal with the matter, which he didn't do because there was a scheduled meeting for the 10th. But in the interim, by the 6th, which was a Friday, she went ahead and approved the application anyway, without any further consultation with her technical.
That's still speedy by any measure, right? I mean, even it's 1 day or 4 days, that is still speedy.
Right. And so she approved and sent it to Invest St. Lucia on the 6th immediately, by her secretary. And so you find Invest St. Lucia had to send it back but that was, instead of the 3rd, that was the 6th, Invest St. Lucia had to send it back to the ministry, rather to the Trade Licensing Board, because only they can issue a trade license. So the matter then came up before the Trade Licensing Board on the 10th, which is the Monday, where they considered it and requested further information and clarification on certain matters. And of course, it went back to Invest St. Lucia, who indicated that ministry, at some point, that Ministry of Education had approved in principle.
Okay, so what does that mean? I agree in principle.
Yeah. But you see, you would have thought that the matter would be dealt with more thoroughly. I mean, in principle, nobody explained to us what exactly in principle means, and I do not know whether they themselves followed up to find out.
Well, I get the impression that they themselves did not have any due diligence at their disposal. They had not done any due diligence, nor had they received the results of any due diligence having been done. And so, in principle, on the surface of it, which is that's the ordinary meaning of the phrase as far as I know, on the surface of it, it seems like a good idea, but let's see what's further down.
And the blame has to fall at the feet of the minister, because she's the one who exerted undue pressure and influence in trying to expedite the matter. Hence the reason why sufficient caution was not carried out in terms of delving into what exactly this Dr. Sham was about, and whether he met all the requirements and standards that we require in granting a license to an investor.
I want to open the phone lines in a bit, but let's just clarify for our viewers at home the timeline. We have an investment forum in May. Come June 2nd, we have two applications coming in for the same incident, for the same concern. By June 3rd, the minister has forwarded the application to her permanent secretary, who happens to be the chairman of the Trade License Board. And he suggested to her that we go through the usual channels. By June 6th, the minister has already approved the application
without any further
consultation,
which you would think if she has done so, she would have done the necessary due diligence herself.
Right.
Of course, but we know, I mean, it is the officers who are better equipped to perform that role. And I would go further to say that as an auditor by profession, the minister ought to know that procedures and processes ought to be followed in matters such as these.
So on June 10th, the Trade License Board meets as was scheduled.
Right.
They then, after meeting, went back to the minister by June 12th, asking for more information, more documentation to prove that something has happened.
That's correct.
Due diligence-wise. And by then, the Invest in Lucia now forwards them documents claiming that the Ministry of Education has, in principle, supported Lambird's academies operating in St. Lucia.
That's right.
By June 16th.
Yes, there was the issuance of the license.
Issuance after all of that has been sent to the licensing board, and that has been approved. Correct. But the approval is just a matter of convenience, a matter of formality, because the minister has already approved.
That's correct. Well, while the minister approves, it is the trade licensing board
that can grant.
The secretary of the board that
but
can.
But then think about it.
Yeah.
Would it be fair to say that the permanent secretary then, in all of his training and for the post of permanent secretary, his job is to ensure that the minister looks good? That the minister
and to provide technical advice to the minister and guidance.
As long as the minister allows him or her to give that advice, right?
Exactly. Yes.
Right. So the Lambert's license is granted, and by March of the following year, the gentleman has been arrested.
That's correct.
So January, February, persons have been coming in. You know, that's the beauty of it. You know, this thing has happened, and we say that things cannot get done in St. Lucia.
Yes.
But you know, sometimes it is worth it to take our time, because those are little things that could happen. Exactly. The phone lines are open, St. Lucia. Feel free to join in the discourse at any point. We have our first caller. Good night.
Hi, good night.
Good night, sir.
Not hearing the caller.
Listening to you all, I have a question for Mr. Spider.
Okay, hold on, sir. His earpiece is not working too well. He can't hear you. So you have to take it slowly. I'm going to repeat the question so that he can give you the answer, okay? Is that all right?
No problem.
Okay, wonderful. Let's go.
Question among many.
No, not among many. Please.
What is the source of his information?
What is the source of his information? So he's asking what is the source of your information. And so I would ask you to limit yourself to about 3 questions, huh? Because we expect. Okay, great, wonderful. So the source of the of your information, are you at liberty to say?
No, I mean, I can guarantee you that I have a reliable source, and that is as much as I'm.
And so we're not going to be sued, neither myself nor DBS nor yourself.
You're not going to be sued.
Okay, does that satisfy you, sir?
Well, I'm just going to...
You're going to accept it for now?
I'm going to advise him some... I'm going to give him some advice. Be very careful how he just loosely uses his tongue. Because he's speaking from as if he's speaking from an informed platform, which is very dangerous. And as we move along, another question. I want to leave something with you. While I am also convinced that a lot has gone wrong with this whole Lambird thing, from immigration, what have you, I am not casting blame until investigations, no matter who does it, is complete. But let's not forget, ladies and gentlemen, both you and Spider there, casting blame on the sole minister, which I disagree with, but that's for another show. Let us not resolve those kids. Those kids are as guilty as it comes. Yes, I feel sorry for them, but don't forget they are fully aware that they were making a big trip to America and not coming to study. Let us not just brush this thing aside. Okay, this is all a big complot, and I think we are using it right now for political mileage unnecessarily, without casting the blame that those kids sign up knowing that they want to go to America. They admitted on Rick Wynn's show that, look, I wasn't coming to St. Lucia, I'm going to America. You know, so let's not sit there and with this posture, Emma. Let's speak about the good that Emma Hippolyte is doing in the country. Also, as a human being, Spider, sit there and tell the country a few good things also. Because you're just there spinning nonsense.
Well, in all fairness, sir, the purpose of the show is not to espouse the goodness of Emma, and I'm certainly sure any number of us could do that. But the purpose of the show tonight is to try to delve into what happened with this Lambird thing, so as to understand it and to ensure that it doesn't happen again. And further, for me in particular, why is it that we waited, or she waited, until she had immunity in the house? But thank you for your Spider. You wanted to run some questions?
I want to respond to the caller.
Yes, sir.
I will wait one of those days to hear you say something positive. Because so far,
I have so much. No. I have so much I could say that are positive towards Emma. But as I said, this is not the time or the place. You wanted to answer the caller.
If and when the time comes for me to say anything positive, I will.
Of course.
But just be reminded that I'm not the GIS. I'm not J. Jean-Pierre. I'm not In Touch. I'm not NTN. Okay, so I'm not here to blow any trumpet for any politician or minister. And at the same time, while I sympathize with the kids and the plight that they're in, they are not answerable to me. My government is.
That's right. We have another call. Thank you for calling.
Hi, good night, Laura. How are you?
I'm fine, thanks. How are you?
I'm good.
Wonderful.
Good night to your guest as well.
Good night.
Mr. Motut, you mentioned that all the pronouncements that you're making, that you have a reliable source, right? Is that what you said?
No, I didn't say that.
You just said a while ago.
I said it is factual.
You sure that it's factual?
Yes, I am.
And where did you get that information from?
Like I just said a while ago, I do not wish to divulge.
Do you have? Is that a reliable source that you?
I think he's already said that
if you want to hear me say it is a source that I consider to be reliable. Yes.
What if your reliable source lied?
Well, let me just say this. I would have had no questions if the minister, who is answerable to us, had subjected herself to being questioned on the matter that we are dealing with right now.
No. Okay, Mr. Moses, let me go a different direction. You agree that this is a matter before the courts, right?
Yes, it is.
And do you agree that when something is before the courts, that you're not at liberty as a minister, because you are former minister, so you would be aware that if you are a minister of government and this is a case associated with you as a minister or you as a government and so on, that you are not at liberty to say anything whatsoever that you want.
That is not true. That is not true. You cannot say anything to prejudice. You cannot say anything to prejudice the case, but you can speak on the matter. You can deal with the facts of the matter, and for that matter, evidence of this is the fact that the minister herself has spoken on the market steps and in Parliament on the matter. So do not say that you cannot speak about it.
Okay, Mr. Moses, can we agree that before you make a statement that all necessary investigations have to be made?
Well, not just a statement. Before you grant a license to a foreign investor, all necessary investigations have to be made.
Okay, well, do you agree now that
that's the hold on, caller.
Yeah.
That will be your last.
Okay.
Do you agree? Because we have other callers on the line.
Okay, I understand.
Right.
Do you agree that the same procedure that Lambird would have followed to apply for their license and so on, do you agree that this very same procedure, would have been followed by other companies applying? Because this is nothing new. This is the same procedure that all companies and so on who are applying to operate here and so on.
But obviously, Lambird was given special treatment, and that's the area of concern. And the question you should be asking is why.
The head of Invest St. Lucia has addressed this issue. Now, Miss Jean-Pierre, there is one thing that I would really advise you to do.
I'm listening.
Okay.
I'm all eyes. Notice tonight I am giving you all of your sneaky things there. So go ahead.
Just sometimes, Laura, when I make a call and I look at you and your body language, sometimes it kind of says, something totally different to what you're saying. But
maybe what you need to do is to interface with me a little bit more, and then you'll understand. You can't read anything into it. But go ahead. I'm waiting for the advice.
I study body language.
Hello?
So I know.
I think we lost this call.
Hello?
Anyway, I think we lost the call. But we didn't cut you off. We just, the call dropped. I'm sorry. I would have loved to hear what advice you would have had for me. Think about it. Would you say that it is a normal course of events for the minister to ask that certain license applications be expedited in that manner, knowing that there is a scheduled meeting to be convened within days?
It's certainly not normal. It's certainly not normal. And a week's time is, especially when it comes to government. government matters is a short space of time. You know, so I mean, I cannot see why the urgency, and these are the things that raise questions. A matter that was being pushed so much and was dealt with so urgently, and at the end of the day,
Within
this
2
is the
weeks.
scandal we ended up in.
Within 2 weeks, an application was made and approved and everything, and then within a couple of months, we have a scandal.
Yeah, so at best, it shows poor judgment. And, you know, at least there are many questions to be answered. There's something fishy about it, you know.
I think we're having a bit of a problem with the lines. I can hear calls trying to come through, but we're not. So let's go to break, and when we come back, hopefully we'd have rectified our phone problems. See you on the other side of the break.